Croeso power up to the game's under £20 PSN sale. This sale ends on the 9th of June, so that'll be your last day to pick up these deals. Sorry this sale is late, but the PlayStation Store messed up. The PS4 sale links to the old sale that ended 2 weeks ago, so I had to manually check the sale on their website and then load up the games on PlayStation 4 with a search, which took forever and was a nightmare. Anyway, let's get on with it. Let's look at the games. Up first is A Fisherman's Tale Deluxe Edition. It was released in 2020, so it's 1 year old, and is on a 50% discount for the price of £7.99, which is pretty decent. This edition includes the soundtrack and a PS4 theme. This is a VR puzzle game with move controller required, so if you don't have them you can't play it. In this 2019 VR Game of the Year winner, you play as a tiny fisherman puppet that receives a storm warning and now must make it to the top of the lighthouse by solving inventive, mind-blowing puzzles and turn on the light to save the day. It looks like a really cool mind-bending puzzle game, and these things are always way better in VR, so if you've got a PSVR headset and you're a fan of puzzles, you'll probably really enjoy this, and it's won so many awards that you should at least look at it if you're interested. Next is A Way Out. It was released in 2018, so it's 3 years old, and is on a 70% discount for the price of £7.49, which is pretty decent. This is a third-person action adventure, and the ultimate co-op adventure, where you and a friend play as Leo and Vince, who reluctantly team up to escape from prison together, and the adventure continues as they must evade police while getting involved in an emotional story of adventure. On a side note, only one person needs to own this game for 2 people to play it, which is awesome. More games should do that. So if you've got someone that you play games with all the time, and you're always looking for 2-player games, this is a really good option, especially since only one of you needs to pay for it. That makes it dirt cheap. If you like story-driven third-person action games, then you'll love this, especially if you've got a friend to play it with. Check it out. Borderlands Legendary Collection is next. It was released in 2020, so it's 1 year old, but it's a combination of games that are older than that, so keep that in mind. It's on a 60% discount for the price of £15.99, which isn't bad considering it's got 3 full games in it, as this collection includes Borderlands the Game of the Year edition, Borderlands 2, and Borderlands the pre-sequel. These games are first-person shooters, where you get to play a trilogy of awesome games set in the world of Pandora, where vault hunters search for rumoured ancient vaults, while dealing with the evil corporation that controls the lawless planet. These games also feature 2-player split-screen co-op and 4-player online co-op, so if you've got friends to play them with, they're even more fun. These games basically invented the looter-shooter genre, so if you love collecting weapons and always finding upgrades, this is a really good set of games for you. Take a look at them if you like the sound of that. An RPG is next, Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen. It was released in 2014, so it's 4 years old, but it's a remaster of an older game, and it's on a 60% discount for the price of £7.99, which is really good. This edition is remastered in full HD and includes all of the DLC ever released, so it's a good deal. In this action RPG, you play as the Arisen, the prophesized warrior who is predicted to face and slay a dragon to stop the coming apocalypse. It features a huge open world to explore, with 9 character classes to choose from and 3 AI companions to journey with, while utilizing devastating skills and magic to combat the numerous enemies and monsters. This game is really highly reviewed and thought of, and I'm dying to play it myself. I love Dragon Age, except the second game because that one sucked, and the third one redeemed it but wasn't quite as good as the first, but in my mind this is the next best thing, and I'm really looking forward to playing it. So if you're into fantasy RPGs, you should definitely take a look at this at some point, especially at this price. A VR game next, Aspire 1 VR Operative. It was released in 2019, so it's 2 years old, and is on a 60% discount for the price of £9.99, which isn't bad. This is a VR stealth action game, where move controllers are required, so if you don't have them you can't play it. As an Esper agent, you pilot remote operatives from the safety of your control center. Sneak, climb, take hostages with voice recognition, hide the bodies, throw items to cause distractions, and engage in full-on gunfights. If you've ever wanted to be a spy infiltrating facilities, then this is the game for you. And the feature set looks really good for VR. It features full locomotion, and a lot of different features with the voice recognition and the distractions and that sort of thing. It just looks like a really cool VR game. If you've got a PSVR unit, you should definitely at least look at this game. Okay, so this is a bit of a weird one. I don't know why, or if it's a mess up on Sony's part, but on the PlayStation Store right now, the VR game Racket Fury Table Tennis is free. I've claimed it and it worked, but it's not on the PS Plus list, so I don't really get why it's free. In any case, if it's still free right now, claim it while you can, especially if you got a PSVR unit. Free's better than any price, right? Just take it and run away quick before they change their mind. I know I have. Little Nightmares Complete Edition is next. It was released in 2017, so it's 4 years old, and is on a 75% discount for the low price of £5.99, as it includes the Secrets of the Moor expansion as well. In this horror puzzle platformer, you must help Six escape the Moor, a vast and mysterious vessel, all the while confronting your childhood fears along the way. This game got rave reviews when it came out, both for being interesting but also scary as well. If you're a fan of puzzle platformers and you enjoy the horror genre as well, then this is basically made for you, because it's a really creepy puzzle platformer, and there's not many of them around, especially not of this quality. Up next is Mordheim City of the Damned Complete Edition. It was released in 2016, so it's 5 years old, and is on a 70% discount for the price of £7.49, which is really good, as this edition includes 6 additional DLC packs, which is a lot of extra content at this price. In this turn-based strategy game, based on the Games Workshop tabletop game, you play as iconic warbands fighting over the control of Mordheim, one neighborhood at a time. So if you're a big fan of Games Workshop, or isometric turn-based strategy, then you'll really enjoy this. It's basically like XCOM, but based on Games Workshop. So if that sounds good to you, why not check it out? There's not many fantasy versions of this gameplay around, so you don't have a lot of options. A legendary franchise is next, Rise of the Tomb Raider 20 Year Celebration. It was released in 2016, so it's 4 years old, and is on an 80% discount for the low price of £4.99, which is awesome, because this version is remastered in 4K, and includes all of the DLC, including an extreme difficulty mode for the main campaign, skins, and more. In this action-adventure, you follow Lara on her first tomb raiding expedition to the most treacherous and remote regions of Siberia. It features a VR mode for the Blooded Ties DLC, a zombie nightmare combat mode, co-op play and endurance mode, and different graphics modes. So you're really getting a lot of extra content with this, and the addition of a VR DLC is pretty cool if you've got a headset. I like the rebooted Tomb Raider games. They do justice to the series, and they're basically an Uncharted rip-off, so if you like the Uncharted games, you'll like these too. And the first and second one are usually at a decent price, so why not take a look at this if any of that sounds good to you. Next we have 7 Enhanced Edition. It was released in 2019, so it's 2 years old, and is on an 80% discount for the price of £6.99, which is really good. This edition adds new quests, locations, and characters with the Drowned Past expansion included as well. In this isometric RPG, you play as Teriel, a master thief sent on a mission that will shake the foundations of the entire empire. You get to experience an epic story, set in an open world using stealth and real-time combat to complete your mission any way you want. It also features multiple endings for more replayability as well. So if you're a fan of old-school isometric RPGs, you'll really enjoy this. It's a really good modern version of them, and it seems pretty captivating. For anyone that used to enjoy Baldur's Gate, or Champions of Norath, you'll definitely want to look at this game. You'll probably really enjoy it. Next up is my star buy, the Stealth Inc. 1 and 2 Ultimatist Edition. It was released in 2015, so it's 6 years old, and it's on a 90% discount for the crazy low price of £1.39. That's amazing. For 2 really good indie puzzle games, you can't go wrong at that price. It's 70 pence each. That's mad. And this edition includes both the full games with all DLC and extras for PS3, Vita and PS4. So if you've got a Vita, you can play them on that as well. I personally completed the first game on Vita and I loved it. It was one of the first games I had on Vita and it was really, really great. These are both 2D puzzle platformers. In this fast-paced puzzle game, you are tasked with using infinite lives to learn how to navigate lasers, homicidal robots, and terrifying bosses across over 180 total levels in this bundle, which is a crazy amount of content and levels for this price. I love puzzle games, and I love these games as well. Not only are the puzzles great, but the fact that the gameplay is fast-paced and based on skill means there's an element of that, just one more try, as you die over and over again trying to make it past that laser trap to the end. They're just really cool, intelligent games with awesome skill-based gameplay. Highly recommended. They're my star buy for a reason. If you like puzzle games or skill-based games, check these games out. They're well worth your time, especially at this crazy low price. Next we have the Surge Augmented Edition. It was released in 2018, so it's 3 years old, and it's on an 80% discount for the price of £4.99, which is really awesome, considering this includes 2 expansions and 5 DLC packs, so you're getting a lot for your money with this deal. This is basically a sci-fi Souls-like game, in a world where robots have gone haywire, and now it's up to you with your heavy-grade exoskeleton to fight huge bosses, gaining new equipment and abilities along the way to save the day. And since this game is basically sci-fi Dark Souls, if you're a fan of Dark Souls, then you'll love it. But if you're not a fan of Dark Souls, then unless you're really into sci-fi, you probably won't like this either. But if you're up for a really challenging sci-fi action game that's really based on skill, then you'll get a lot out of this game. Take a look at it. Torchlight II is our next game. It was released in 2019, so it's 2 years old, and is on a 70% discount for the price of £4.79, which is pretty cheap. This is an isometric RPG, and an award-winning game, where once again the fate of the world is in your hands. Explore a quirky world full of bloodthirsty monsters, bountiful treasures, and sinister secrets across randomized levels in a dynamic world. It features 4-player online multiplayer, 4 character classes, character customization, pets, fishing, and bonus pet fairy unique for the PS4. So if you're a fan of isometric RPGs, like the old Baldur's Gate games, then you might want to take a look at this. But it's not the only one on sale, so take a look around. And the last game I have for you is Yakuza 0. It was released in 2017, so it's 4 years old, and it's on a 75% discount for the price of £3.99, which is dirt cheap. This is an open world action adventure game, set in the 80s, and it's a prequel to the other Yakuza games, where you play as a member of the Yakuza after a simple debt collection goes wrong, with an awesome fighting system using 3 fighting styles and interactive environments and objects. It has an awesome fighting system, plus so much more. I mean, it's basically GTA Japan, so if you're a fan of open world games like that, and you like the Yakuza, you'll really love these games. And if not, you should take a look at them, because they've got some really cool and fun mini games, and they're just awesome fun games, they really are. If you like open world action games, this is definitely worth checking out if you've never looked at them before. And that's all the games I have for you from the Games Under £20 PSN sale. What did you think of the games I picked? Did I pick good ones? Did I pick bad ones? Was my star buy great, or was it rubbish? Did something else deserve it better? Leave all your complaints down in the comments and we'll argue about it later. I hope you guys found some games you're interested in, but more importantly I hope you guys saved a lot of money. I'll see you guys in the next sale. Hoil Var.